So can I start?
Yes, Ujjwal.
Yep. A very happy evening to all the fellow Toastmasters and a warm welcome to all my dear guests. When you think others are happier than you may not feel good. But when you see that no one is free from suffering, you will feel compassion. Compassion is the culmination of the refinement of human character. It manifests in a person after he attains certain mental and spiritual awareness. It is an integral and important aspect of humanity, divinity, and spirituality. The virtue of compassion is practiced in all world religious under different names as an important spiritual quality for the refinement of human character and expressing the humanity which is natural but mostly remains hidden in most of the people. The practice of nonviolence, friendliness, empathy, charity, selfless service, and unconditional love are closely associated with compassion. Compassion makes people go out of their way to feel for others and helps them deal with their problems, overcome physical or emotional hurt, or better themselves physically, mentally, or spiritually to live with the increased responsiveness, helpful nature, and sensitivity. Compassion arises from openness, sensitivity, attentiveness, sense of justice, and fairness. Although it seems to be a matter of heart issue, compassion arises from rational thought, knowledge, observation, sound judgment, and a clear understanding of the ways of the world and the suffering which is inherent in the entire existence. Anyone can speak the words of compassion and show sympathy as a part of one's impression management and social behavior, but the real test is whether the body, the body language, and the actions match with the words and the feelings expressed. People who are engaged in spirituality should aim to cultivate universal and unconditional compassion, which radiates in all directions without motive, purpose, or agenda. That compassion is superior, which deepens due to inner refinement of character and feelings of universality, and which spontaneously arises as a natural expression of oneself. Lastly, I would like to conclude my speech with a quote. Compassion is sometimes the fatal capacity for feeling what is like to live inside someone else's skin. It is the knowledge that there can never really be any peace and joy for me until there is a peace and joy finally for you too. Now, to take this meeting forward, we have a special person with us who is currently pursuing engineering course with computer science as his background from City Engineering College. He is a passionate photographer and aims to become a wildlife photographer. He is someone who never say no to food and trips. And if anyone wants to get work done easily with this person, just take him for a long drive and the work will be done just like this. He is also a Triple Crown winner who has served as a past secretary, VPPR, VPM, VPE, and the current president in Mekon Communication Club. He is also the area director of C3. So, ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together and welcome our president, Toastmaster Udank.
Thank you, Ujjwal, for that lovely introduction. Can we quickly have the minutes of meeting read out by our secretary?
Good evening, all. The minutes of meeting number 1092, held on 11th of January 2020. The theme was No Dream is Ever Chased Alone. Business session started at 6:18 p.m. and was chaired by President Toastmaster Udanka. The following points were discussed. Roles are open for the next meeting. Contact VP for booking the road. The regular meeting started at 6:22 p.m. Sergeant at Arms Toastmaster Ujjwal started the meeting with an introduction about the theme and handed over charge to President Toastmaster Udanka. Toastmaster Udanka opened the meeting, welcomed the guests, spoke on the theme, and introduced the master of ceremony for the day, Toastmaster Shashikant, that is me. Master of ceremony Toastmaster Shashikant spoke on the theme and introduced the role taker, timer Toastmaster Said Nehal, our counter Toastmaster Gaurav, grammarian DTM AK Prabhakara, PP evaluator DTM MU Bhatt. The prepared speech session had a following speeches. Speaker 1 Toastmaster Lalana, Level 1 Project 2, evaluated by Toastmaster Arundhati. Speaker 2 Toastmaster Ankita, Level 3 Project 1, evaluator was Toastmaster Ravi Kumar. Speaker 3 Toastmaster Prakash, Level 5, final project of the team collaboration path, evaluated by DTM AK Prabhakara. The table topic session was conducted by Toastmaster Balaji. The general evaluation session was conducted by Toastmaster Sridevi. The winners of the week were Best Speaker Toastmaster Lalana, Best Evaluator DTM AK Prabhakara, Best Table Topic Speaker DTM MU Bhatt. The President concluded the meeting at 8:32 p.m. Thank you, and back to you, Toastmaster Udanka.
Thank you, Toastmaster Shashikant. Is there any changes? If no, we consider that as done, and I open meeting number 1093. As we have heard that what we have learned, we should not keep to ourselves, but we need to spread it across. So here we are today with my team to share what we learned in yesterday's TLI. I thought this is the right opportunity for me to give it out to our members also, our roles and responsibilities. So I'll just brief out what exactly happened in yesterday's main session, and then we had a breakout session where each of our role we was divided into many roles. President went to the president room, VP education went to the VP education room, so on. So I'll explain the main rooms agenda, and then I'll pass it on to the members so that explain their roles and responsibilities. So firstly, we had the one educational session by DTM Sundar Raj on. Sorry, first we had a session by Vaibhav Gupta, who's the area director of C1. He explained about the DCP refresher. DCP refresher, what exactly a DCP is, how we should aim at, what are the criteria for that, and who is eligible to file this award, and so much. Secondly, we had the session by DTM Arjun Sundaraj on effective evaluation.
Mentoring is a brain.
Thanks, Sai. Secondly, we had by our DTM Arjun Sundaraj, who is in the extended team of PQD District 2021. He spoke on effective evaluation. What exactly an evaluator job is to do. Does he has to evaluate the speech or the speaker, and much more things he shared. We'll be sharing the links of those recordings very shortly. Third, we had not exactly a quiz type, not a questionnaire session, but we had a very interactive session by very own program quality director TTM Anita Rangarajan, who gave us an insight and detailed information about our pathways base camp. As this is a new part for many Toastmasters, she explained us in detail. Then we had the breakout session where each of us were explained with our roles and responsibilities. So as a president, my role As a president, my role is to have a club vision for the term, attend the area and direct district council meetings, prepare a club succession plan along with the VP education, hold the EXCOM meeting, support the EXCOM members, meet the district officers and introduce them to the club members, set up a step-in base camp manager when VP and secretary is unavailable, encourage the members to visit or take up roles in other club meetings as well as our club meetings, network with club members or club officers. These are the main points I have to do as a president. So I would now request VP Education Toastmaster Sai Sahil to explain his roles and responsibilities and further pass it on to the next officer in charge.
Thank you, President Toastmaster Udang. So when it comes to the VP Education,
It was held by Anant Krishna. So he started off the session by telling us our roles and duties. The first duty of a VP education is the most important thing, that is the meeting agenda. It has to be taking care of all the role takers, including the tag team as well. This was the first thing. As we go on, he told us about we need to plan the club success plan with along with the president, which has to be further submitted to the area director. Suppose we have any new members coming up, assigning them mentors, or if there are any existing members who want to change their mentors, can also be done through me. We have to plan and organize different contests as and when required and mentioned by the district. As Udank already mentioned, I'll be the primary base camp manager where I'll be approving each and every one of the speech requests which I have received, and also encourage members to take up roles as much as possible in the meeting and help them through their educational path. That's all from VP Education. Over to Vice President Membership, Toastmaster Ankita.
Thank you, VP Education Sai Snehal. So the VPM session was conducted by Kritika Konnur, who started off with a brief of the kind of duties and responsibilities that I, as a VPM, have to carry out in my term. So majorly, I'm supposed to be, basically talking to the guests and telling them exactly what Toastmasters is, and welcome them to our meeting, add them onto the WhatsApp guest group, and also send them meeting invite links so that they can come for the meeting and enjoy. Also, I'm supposed to be motivating them to speak at the meetings and to attend meetings even in future, so that they actually feel interested and would want to convert into members. I'm glad to announce here that as per the Hall of Fame criteria, we get one DCP point for adding 8 members in the Toastmasters term, and we have already added 7. So if we add one more, we get that one DCP point. So I'm looking forward to all the guests present here to attend our meetings, to enjoy, and to hopefully convert, because this platform really helps you become more confident and improve your public speaking skills. Over to the next person, the VPPR Toastmaster Prakash. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Vice President Membership Toastmaster Ankita. First of all, I would like to convey my special thanks for Toastmasters International for providing me such an opportunity to participate in leadership training. During my entire career, I had not served the role of conducting public relations for a company. But yesterday, I came to understand the responsibilities of a PR officer, focusing more on how to maintain and manage all club social media forums, how to prepare and publish a club newsletter, how to maintain a club website, how to adhere to Toastmaster International branding guidelines in all promotion materials, how to recognize members' special moments both within and outside of Toastmaster, motivate and encourage members to participate in events conducted by other club or area or other division district competitions. On this occasion, I would like to appreciate all the district directors for conducting the entire session in a professional way, and was really inspired and motivated to hear their fabulous speeches, and was able to network with other VPPRs of other clubs. Thank you, and over to the next person. Secretary Shashikant.
Once again, good evening all. That yesterday the TLI was a great learning session for us, and Apurva Singh has conducted the learning session for secretary, and as a secretary, so I have learned many things in that session. The few of the things are, I have learned how to prepare the minutes of the meeting, and I have to update the path records on weekly basis and share the same with the president on monthly basis. And moreover, I learned to how to keep a track on the path of the each member. I have to keep a track on path of the each member, and whoever close to completing the path, I should encourage them to complete the path and receive one DCP point. This thing I have learned, like the different Toastmaster club have shared their screen and showed me how to take a track on the person's completing the path. And moving forward, I am trying to implement it, and I am trying to track the members' growth here. Thank you, and passing on to the next Toastmaster Ujjwal.
Thank you,
Uh,
Secretary Toastmaster Shashi. Sergeant Atom session was conducted by Toastmaster Sudesh. Since me as Sergeant Atoms need to always talk about the theme and introduce the president, it would be the same old format every week and it would be boring. So to overcome this, I learned an innovative strategy that, suppose for example, if the theme was Republic Day. So after me talking about the theme, I can just ask the president a question like, when did you last celebrated your the Republic Day by doing March fast? And also, I learned that while introducing president, I could just come out with new things about the president, which most of the members do not know about it. And finally, I also learned that I should always be there uh, 15 to 20 minutes early before the meeting starts and look to that the things are being placed to kickstart the meeting without any hindrance. So thank you and back to you, President.
Shashikant missed out to give it to the treasurer. So can we have a treasurer to give his sharings?
Yes, thank you. Good evening, everyone. And the session was based on what are the roles of the treasurer. There are a couple of basic things the treasurer has to do: collect the money and pay the TMI fees in time, so that the people are eligible to participate in competitions, and they get to they get to they get access to their pathways and everything. So it has to be done in time. We have two renewals, once in month of April, one another in month of October. So this is what they told: you have to collect all the money and pay as per the TMI guidelines and the club rules.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sandeep, for that. I am pretty sure all the role takers will do their roles sincerely and give the best of what they can and make on seem more proud in Toastmaster International. So moving ahead, we have a special person to take this meeting forward. He has completed BSc, MBA, PhD, CA, IAB, CASA, and currently pursuing his CIA certification course. He has 24 years of work experience in banking and microfinance sector. Presently working as head of internal audit in Samasta Microfinance Private Limited. He is a he's handling this from past 2 years and he has a team consisting of 110 members across India. His hobbies include reading self-development books, listening audiobooks, playing chess, swimming, trucking, and watching movies. He is also currently the Vice President Public Relation of Mekon Communication Club. Please put your hands in welcoming Toastmaster Prakash, MC of today's meeting. Over to you, Toastmaster Prakash.
Uh, Thank you, President Toastmaster Udanka, for such a lovely introduction. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and welcome guests. When I decided about the theme, I was a bit confused and thought compassion is similar to sympathy or empathy. But when I Googled, I came to know that they have a different meanings. Let me share you all an example. On seeing a child waiter in a restaurant, if a person is just feeling sad, then he is sympathetic. But if he also connects himself or own children with that child or memories from his own life experience, then he is empathetic. But when someone changes his emotional state into a positive direction, then it is called compassion. Sympathy focuses on awareness, empathy focuses on experience, and compassion focuses on action. For more clarity, let me tell you all a story. It seems that a young man named Kumar was walking home from school one day when he noticed that a boy ahead of him had tripped and dropped all of the books he was carrying, along with two sweaters, a cricket bat, a glove, and his mobile. Kumar knelt and helped the boy pick up the scattered articles. Since they were going the same way, he helped the boy carry part of the burden. As they walked, he discovered the boy's name was Santosh and that he loved video games, cricket, science, and that he was having lots of trouble with these other subjects. They arrived at the Santosh home first, and Kumar was invited in for a lime juice, and they both watched T20 cricket match in the television. The afternoon passed pleasantly with a few laughs and some shared small talks. Then Kumar went home. They continued to see each other around school, had lunch together once in a while, and then both graduated from high school. They ended up in the same college where they had brief contacts over the years. Finally, the long awaited final year came, and 3 weeks before graduation, Santosh asked Kumar if they could talk. Santosh reminded him of the day years ago when they had first met. He asked, did you ever wonder why I was carrying so many things home that day? Yeah, then later he replied, Santosh, you see, I cleaned out my locker because I did not want to leave a mess for anyone else. Had stored away some of my mother's sleeping pills and I was going home to commit suicide. But after that, we spent time together talking and laughing. I realized that I didn't want to die. I would have missed that time with you and many other good times in my life that followed. I'm trying to say, Kumar, that you did a lot more when you picked up those books that day. You saved my life. Kumar decided to open his heart to another person in need. Once he did that, he decided to help that person. It was a small gesture, but only took a few moments for all that to happen. But that is how compassion works. Imagine what would have happened if Kumar had only shaken his head in sympathy and walked on. We never know what a difference we can make in someone's life when we show compassion. Similarly, in 1924, Rolf C. Smedley observed that people lack proper communication and leadership skills. He was compassionate with them and founded Toastmaster International to aid people to be able to express themselves better at YMCA, Santa Ana, California. The purpose of the club was to help its members to improve their communication, public speaking, and leadership skills. Today, it has more than 3,64,000 members across 145 countries and over 16,200 member clubs. Let me share a few interesting facts. The average age of the members is 46.2 years. Majority of the members is 55.6% are from America and only 27.2% of the members are from Asia. Among the members, 46% are males and 54% are females. This strongly indicates that females are always on upper hand and they focus more on sharpening their skills. On a later note, from my experience, I can say that we can never win an argument with females. 49.1% of the members have achieved Distinguished Toastmaster title. And very, very important is 90% of the past members felt Toastmasters helped them to reach their personal goals. This fact inspires all of us and binds to be in our club forever. A typical Toastmasters comprises of 3 sessions. First, the prepared speech session, where the speakers are given time to prepare for a speech on the subject of their choice, following the guidelines of the manual. Second is the table topic session, where the speakers are chosen at random and given a topic to which they have to respond immediately. Third is the evaluation session, where the speeches and the proceedings of the meetings will be evaluated. So to take it forward, we have 4 role takers for the evening. Our counter, Toastmaster Karthik.
Good evening, everyone. I'll be the R counter evaluator. So there are 2 types of words here: filler words that are used instead of conjunctions or taking a pause. By filler words, I mean words like or well, etc. And there are also crutch words such as so, like, well, but, etc., which can be used, but in excess will be noted down. So I'll be taking the role of this today. Back to you, sir.
Thank you, Toastmaster Karthik. Timer, Toastmaster Shashikant.
Good evening, all. Time plays a very important role in our speech and in our life as well. So as a timer, I will be note downing the time taken for prepared speech session. As for a 5 to 7 minute length, I will be changing my background as a green for 5 minutes, yellow for 6 minutes, and red for 7 minutes. And I will also note down the table topic time as well. For 1 minute, I will show the green virtual background, and for 1.5 minutes, I will show the yellow virtual background, and for 2 minutes, I will show the red virtual background. It is not a stop here. We have a general evaluation session. For the general evaluation session, I will be showing the green card for green virtual background for 2 minutes, yellow virtual background for 2.5 minutes, and red virtual background for 3 minutes. Thank you, and back to you, Toastmaster Prakash.
Thank you, Toastmaster Shashikant. Grammarian, Toastmaster Sandeep.
Grammar plays very important role in our speeches. You must have heard when you write your CV or resume, they say you should not have a single grammatical mistake, which gives a wrong impression on the interviewer. So same way, if when you are speaking, if you are not using proper grammar, then that sends a wrong signal or wrong impression to the interviewer. So the more refined speaker you want to be, the more refined grammar should be. So today my role is to watch out for all the wrong usage of English. And in the meeting, today's word of the day is lucrative, which means more profit, which means profitable. So it can be used in a word like it is lucrative to invest in real estate in JP Nagar, which is rising now. So that can be used, and I request all the speakers when get an opportunity to speak, please use word of the day in your speeches. I will give my report during the general evaluation session. Back to you, sir.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sandeep. PP Evaluator, Toastmaster Sai Snail.
Good evening, everyone. To have a very lucrative meeting and to benefit all the members, we have certain rules that we all should follow so that we can have a very efficient meeting. Kindly avoid talking about sex, religion, or politics. Keep yourself muted at all times unless requested to speak. And please keep the video on as much as possible. And also, if you want to stop your video, kindly do when the speaker or any transition is happening and not when the speaker is speaking. I will be giving my report during the general evaluation. Thank you, and back to the Master of Ceremonies.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sai Snail. Let us begin with the first session of the evening, the prepared speech session. Our first speaker for the evening is giving his level 1 project 3. I would request the individual evaluator DTM Subramaniam to read out the project guidelines.
Thank you, Toastmaster Prakash. Good evening, my fellow Toastmasters and my target speaker, Toastmaster Balaji. Today, Balaji is attempting the third project from level 1, that is researching and presenting. As a part of this project, the member has to learn or review basic research methods and present a well-organized, well-researched speech on any topic. Time is 5 to 7 minutes. All the best, Toastmaster Balaji.
Thank you, DTM Subramaniam. Presently, the speaker has completed BBM from Jain University. He is a teacher come trainer. He loves to read non-fiction books and watch fiction shows. He has planned to make his public speaking as his lucrative second career. Please welcome Toastmaster Balaji with his speech titled British Never Defeated Us.
A very good evening, Toastmasters. This is Balaji, SSLC, second PUC and BBM. After listening to Prakash sir's qualifications, I thought it was lucrative for me to show off my qualifications too. Let us talk about British conquering India. I would say that never happened. I was sitting with my father the other day and my father told, "Hey, buddy, why don't you make a cup of soup for me?" So I got to the kitchen. I pulled out a ready to drink soup, poured some hot water, mixed it up, gave the soup to my father. I told, "Father, I have made it with my love and skill. Please have it." And my father immediately told, "Buddy, this is not what you have done. If you would have done something, you should have started from scratch." And that's when it got me thinking, did British really conquer us? Generally, we take the top to bottom approach. Let me take the bottom to top approach. Let's start with the Carnatic. In Carnatic, there was already a ready soup. The royal ruler is out of the picture because he's dead. And then we have Nawab Anwaruddin, who is also out of the picture, and the regent ruler and his minor son is actually on the throne. At that point in time, Chanda Sahib, the son-in-law of the royal family, is in the prison of Marathas. At this point in time, English and French, to avenge their own personal agendas, they enter the scene of Carnatic in a fight that was already happening for the throne. British finally went out there and flagged their pole and clapped for themselves and told, "Hey, here we are, Carnatic is ours." The Nizams, who actually helped British Carnatic, are now in an other soup, where the father and the son themselves are fighting for the throne, and there comes the English with a spoon to shake the soup and tell Muzaffar Jung, "Let me help you. Nasir Jung, let me help you." And in a fight that was already happening, all the British had to do was, there you go. Nizams were now indebted to the British, and they were the first ones to accept subsidiary alliance and the British supremacy. There was one strong empire in the southern part of India that was headed by Hyder Ali, the Mysuru kingdom. Who really took over this kingdom? How did they take over this kingdom is not really the topic, but Hyder Ali was the ruler at that point in time who had strengthened his entire kingdom with a very strong fort. Followed by Tipu Sultan, who was also a revolutionary fighter and a firm protector of his particular land. The British didn't again do anything much here. They joined hands with Marathas and the Nizams and told, buddy, you know what? Hyder Ali is very strong. Let's go attack them. And all the British did is accompany them. Of course, they always provided their knowledge and skill and war techniques. But voila, Indians are the ones who actually helped dethrone an Indian ruler, and we even celebrated it. Maratha celebrated, Nizam celebrated. Wow, an Indian ruler is down, Hyder Ali is down, Tipu Sultan is down, Mysore kingdom is ours. And let's go to the north. There is something called the Bengal province. Siraj-ud-Daulah, who had angered all the main people in his own kingdom, including the Prime Minister Mir Jafar. Who really dethroned Siraj-ud-Daulah? Was it the British? I am sorry to say no, it was Mir Jafar who got together with British with a dream of becoming the Nawab and told the British, buddy, I am going to help you to dethrone Siraj-ud-Daulah and you have to make me the Nawab. But you know what? I'm going to be indebted to you for the coming times. It didn't take much time for Mir Jafar to realize he was nothing but a puppet ruler in the hands of British. Let's talk about the Mughals. Let's talk about the Punjab province. Let's talk about the Rajputs. How were they defeated? Was it the British army? I am sorry to say no. It was the Indians who were a part of the British army. Britishers were in thousands and they were trying to conquer a nation, a space, a landmark with more than crores and crores of people. Our army alone had a population of maybe more than one of their regions. They didn't really conquer us. We gave it to them because we failed to understand, we failed to realize that we were one country. Indians never really understood, oh my God, I belong to this one country called India. We never knew that. We were so used to the fact anyone who conquers us, if he becomes the king, we gotta follow them. This is how it's been happening and this is how it's going to happen. We lost to a tiny country called England because a big nation called India was not one. Ladies and gentlemen, today India is in that position where no one can stop us from moving ahead, from becoming number one, because guess what? We are one. Thousands of cultures, hundreds of languages, lakhs of different backgrounds, and everything is together as one melting pot. What more reason do we need to celebrate than the fact of being one? And every single person who doesn't believe this entire space is one, congratulations. It is people like you who helped the British. It is people like you divided us. Let's be one and let's keep everyone at bay and lead the one life. Back to the master of today.
Thank you, Toastmaster Balaji. Really, it's amazing and very informative way you were able to portray about how we lost the British. Thank you. Moving on, our last speaker of the day is attempting level 2 project 3. I would request the individual evaluator DTM MU Butt to read out the project guidelines.
Mr. Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, and welcome guests. This is a level 2 project 3. The purpose of the speech project is for the member to clearly define how Toastmasters envisions mentoring. The purpose of the speech is for the member to share some aspect of previous experience as a protege. Time allowed 5 to 7 minutes. All the best to the speaker, and back to you, Mr. Toastmaster.
Thank you, DTM MU Butt, sir. The speaker has completed BCom from Christ University and pursuing CA final course. She is a Bharatanatyam dancer who also loves to write poetry and stories. She is past president of our club and Triple Crown awardee. She feels that compassion is about being empathetic towards the people around us and ensuring we are kind to them, because life in its entirety is about being happy and spreading happiness. Please put your hands together to welcome Toastmaster Sridevi with her speech titled Brain to Pick, Ears to Listen.
Good evening, Toastmasters. Am I audible?
Yeah, of course, you are audible.
Thank you so much. Timer, please start the time now. John Crosby once said, mentoring is a brain to pick, ears to listen, and a push in the right direction. Good evening, Toastmasters and my dear guests. Why does he say so? It's because mentors act like a great sounding board and can help you work through ideas, pitch ideas and design and more. And they can help you stay motivated and illuminate new paths that you might have not known to be there. And I have a lot of mentors in my personal life, but today I thought, let me focus on the mentors that I found in my Toastmasters journey and why Toastmasters emphasizes so much on mentoring. Now, one of the best characteristics of Toastmasters concept itself is mentoring, and it works the best when we define what things I'd like to learn, and you manage your expectations and build a trust within your between your mentor and yourself. Now, mentorship will not work if you do not have trust and respect with the person that is your mentor. I would like to talk about 4 people in my Toastmasters journey that have acted like mentors, not only in my Toastmasters journey, but also in my life. They are DTM Vijay Shri, DTM AK Prabhakara, DTM MU Bhatt, and Toastmaster Pratibha. I would like to point out the aspects in my life that they have influenced and some of the key lessons I learned from these mentors by being a protege. Number 1, preparation, practice, and performance. Now, this is a lesson that I learned from Toastmaster Pratibha, who's also my aunt, and she's one of the earliest mentors I had, and she's the one who introduced me to Toastmasters in the first place. Now, she was by my side from seeding the ideas of giving a speech to nurturing them and growing them into a fully fledged script. She would always ensure I booked the speech slot at least 2 weeks in advance and also help me practice the speech over and over again. And she would monitor them and give active feedbacks, which in turn helped me level up. And she also helped me understand that a speech is not just a speech, but a performance, because there's body language, gestures, facial expressions, and vocal variety involved that is involved in every speech. And this is one of the primary and valuable lessons that I got that helped me fix my foundation here in Toastmasters. Now, the second important learning that I got is the gift of thinking. DTM Nagaraj Rao always says, some people can teach you how to speak and some people can teach you how to write, but there are only few of them who can give you or teach you the art of thinking. My official mentor in Toastmasters, DTM Vijay Shri, is one of the people who really gave me the gift of thinking. Now, let me explain to you how it exactly happened. So when I was preparing for my icebreaker speech, I remember writing a very elaborate and pompous self-introduction. I'm describing, bragging rather, of my academic achievements or how I was a captain, how I could multitask, and my overly ambitious future plans. And I was absolutely certain that once she reads it, she was going to be super impressed. But I was quite surprised by her response. She said, Shri, it's good to know you've done so much and have so much to say about your life. But I want you to know that you could talk about, I want you to know that your competent communication speaker journey has 10 speeches for you to throw a light upon your life. And this introduction speech should only be used to cover information about your family, interest, and profession. And I want you to bring out these three things in a way that will truly describe who you are and bring out your real personality. Let your thoughts do the talking. Remember, we are here to express and not impress. And I want you to think creatively and come up with something because I trust you to be able to do that. Now, it was a very crisp and impactful suggestion, and I realized after talking to her that yes, it's not my academic qualifications, my family background, or achievements that define me. Rather, it is the thoughts that I possess or the strength of my character. I remember then going back and rewriting the script, covering family interest and profession aspects, and narrating it in a typical Bollywood style, a few dialogues here and there, and a few songs here and there. And it turned out to be a grand success because I was really being myself and expressing myself the way I am. She made me realize it's not just the content of your speech, but the conviction or the sincerity with which you speak is what matters. Now, the third important thing that I learned is breaking out of comfort zone. They say a true mentor is a person who sees more potential in you than you see in yourself, and they help you bring it out of you. And one person who suits best this idea is DTM A.K. Prabhakara. He will not only assess your skills, but will go out of his way to inspire you to meet your true potential or even bypass it. My most comfortable style of speaking was storytelling or sharing personal anecdotes. But when I became the president, I was hesitant to complete my advanced communication bronze and silver targets because most of the times the themes chosen by the MC wouldn't match my project requirements. It was AKP sir who helped me break out of that misconception and helped me craft creative ideas. And in those 24 speeches as the president, I have tried different genres breaking out of my comfort zone. I've given technical presentations and humorous speeches, which I thought were the hardest for me. And I would like to thank him for enlightening me that I could do something beyond what I thought I could do. And another thing that I learned from Sir is the art of appreciation. We must always appreciate the efforts other takes. And it's believed that when a person feels appreciated, they do far more than what is expected from them. I remember I got the Toastmasters Enthusiasm Award from him, not once, but twice. There's no official necessity to do the same, but his gesture really encouraged me to work harder and perform better. And now as a mentor, I ensure my mentees always feel appreciated. Lastly, and most important lesson that I learned is the art of empathy and respecting other people's perspective. Some people are always in a rush to become DTM and they don't give speeches or get their speeches mentored or pay attention to project requirements sometimes. It once so happened that one of the speeches that I was evaluating, a person did not fulfill the requirements of the project. And I gave a very furious evaluation to that person. And I told him, you have to repeat your speech. You haven't met any guidelines. Later, DTM MU Bhatt was the person who approached me and told me in a very polite way how it wasn't right for me to tell him to repeat a speech. He said, you see, we must empathize with them and try to understand their perspective as to why they thought it was okay to do something like this. As an evaluator, it is my job to give them opinions, but it's finally their job to take the decision of the way forward. I really reflected on what he said and realized, yes, it is not my job to go and transform people. Rather, it's their responsibility to take what suits them and transform themselves. Since then, I try to be better at empathizing and understanding different perspectives of everyone. To sum up, some of the key importance of mentoring are, number one, it helps you in preparation, practice, and performance. It's a gift of thinking for you. It helps you understand the art of appreciating and helps you break out the comfort zone and instills in you empathy. These were some of the important lessons I learned as a protege, and I can vouch that mentoring is a road that goes both ways. As much as the mentee learns, the role of a mentor is also an experience that has been far more enriching for me in the Toastmasters journey. As Winston Churchill once said, we make a living by what we get, but we make a life by what we give. So now as a mentor, it's my time to give back to the Toastmasters movement. Thank you, and back to you, Toastmasters.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sridevi. Fabulous speech. I too agree with you. I appreciate your mentors. I also feel a good mentor teaches you how to think, not what to think. With that, we come to end of our first session. Without wasting much time, let us jump into the most exciting session of the evening, the table topic session. Our table topic master for the day is currently pursuing final year BCom in Jain University. He is a passionate photographer and a travel as well as fitness freak. He is a dog lover and he has set his ambition to travel in his bullet bike to Leh Ladakh and open a dog care center. He thinks that compassion means the work we do for others will determine our true strength. Please welcome the table topic master of the day, Toastmaster Gaurav.
Thank you, Toastmaster Prakash, for such a lovely introduction. So before I start, let me start sharing my screen. Is my screen visible?
Yeah, Gaurav.
Okay.
Please carry on.
Okay. So welcome to the table topic session. As a table topic master, I'll be choosing random people, random Toastmasters, and I'll be giving a topic and they have to talk for 1 or 2 minutes. So, and this is one of the session where all the members will be like, please don't call my name, but don't worry. It's not going to be like the normal table topic session. It's going to be like a fun and fun talking activity. So like before I start, let me say this scenario. So think we humans are bored looking lion as the king of the jungle. And we all of a sudden decide to choose someone else as a king of the jungle. So now I'll be sharing my screen and I'll be giving each speaker an animal and they have to talk and justify that why does that animal should be the next king of the jungle. Is everything clear? I think everyone got the, what it should be done. So let me start off with the first speaker, and our first speaker for today is Toastmaster Sanjana, and your animal is 1 second. 1 second. Technical issues. Toastmaster Sanjana, this is your first topic and this is your first animal, and you can go for it.
Oh, you're on mute, Sanjana.
Good evening to fellow Toastmasters and the table topic master. So unfortunately, I'm not able to differentiate whether it is a gorilla or a chimpanzee, but I can closely associate. It has closest association to a human being. So I feel I can substantiate that chimpanzee / gorilla could be the king of the jungle because it has qualities of a human being. It almost has qualities of a human being, be it compassion or and it is also a vegetarian, and it focuses on sustainability. So that promotes betterment of life. It gives space for every single organism to breathe. So it makes a provision for coexistence. So it is lucrative on the part of the jungle to make gorilla / chimpanzee to be the king of the jungle. Over to you, table topic master.
Yeah, thank you, Sanjana, for that lovely response. It's actually a gorilla, so I don't have to worry about that. Okay, coming to the next speaker. So I like to call Toastmaster Nakul, and this is your animal.
Good evening, Toastmaster. Thank you for having me part of this club. If I have to take a business example, the lowest one on the ring looks and thinks only about the day-to-day stuff. The second in line, which is the team leader, can only plan for today, tomorrow, and day after tomorrow. The third ring in the uh, chain of business can only plan for the month. The general manager or the project manager can only plan for a quarter. So I feel that giraffe is a right suited to see the longest distance and become the king of the jungle. And he's also the visionary because very long neck. He doesn't need a ledge to stand like the lion or anything. He can stand on the same ground and look a very far distance. And he can reach the height which a normal animal cannot do, and has compassion to go in a herd and take the entire team across. That's why he has to be the king of the jungle and not an animal that eats another animal. Thank you. Back to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Nakul, for that lovely response. Now I would like to call the next speaker, and the next speaker is Toastmaster Ravi Kumar, and this is going to be your animal. Toastmaster Ravi Kumar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good evening, everybody. Table topic master, fellow Toastmasters, and guests. Table topic master, I'll take your help. It is hippopotamus.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Thank you. Now, hippopotamus also can stake its claim to be the king of the jungle. Now, the king of the jungle need not be, as my previous speaker said, that he should be something saying that might is right. And if you just look at the global phenomena, besides the jungle, which we represent might is right, even in the global scenario, the nations who are mighty, they say we are right. And the smaller nations find it impossible to convince them that they have rational, their methods and practices are good. And yet what they are following, systems, what they are following to their subjects is right or wrong. Now, likewise, coming to the jungle life, hippopotamus, as you saw, it can survive both inside water and also outside, and it can come to the land. Now, that also makes the entire jungle to be evenly distributed, and its knowledge, it's being a vegetarian, this animal, and also, big nose, big eyes, big body, and hopefully it will be able to demonstrate its cleverness, its sight, and imagination about the jungle and the other animals. Nothing wrong, at least if not for the entire life that hippopotamus is given a king of the jungle, it can be tried for some time and tested about its ability to govern the jungle. And not necessarily the jungle laws should be dictated. It can also have civilian laws coming into the jungle life, and all animals also live without fear. The problem in jungle is each and every animal will survive there with fear. So if that can be eradicated, I think the life in jungle also can be better and wonderful. Back to you, table topic master.
Thank you, Toastmaster Ravi Kumar. I truly agree with you. Maybe a hippopotamus might look fat, but it is a very mighty animal. I've read a lot about it. So going to the next table topic speaker, I would like to call Toastmaster Lalana, and this is your animal.
Mr. Table Topic Master, fellow Toastmasters and guests. This is a rabbit. Looking at all the mighty animals that came before, maybe it seems preposterous to have the rabbit as the king of a jungle, but I don't think so. Small is beautiful is what is said, and rabbit is very swift. So maybe it thinks fast, it reacts fast, and that is what is really necessary in this world. You have to assimilate everything very fast and act accordingly. And rabbit is also very sensitive, and it can easily make out when somebody is going to be attacked or whatever. And I think it will also alert the other animals when there is danger around. And like all the other animals, rabbit is also a vegetarian, and it will also like contribute to the conservation of nature also. So rabbit also should be given a chance. Why not? It is rightly said that might is not always right. Everybody has to get a chance. So rabbit also would make a good king due to its reflexes and its alertness and the way it reacts fast, and it will also alert other animals. And it's also very cute looking rabbit, unlike that grumpy faced hippopotamus that we just saw, and that tall and lanky giraffe. And before that, we saw that, what was that, chimpanzee or gorilla, the first animal we saw. Compared to all that, I feel rabbit is a very cute and good looking animal, and it should definitely be given a chance to be the king of the jungle. And I'm sure it would give new ideas also to the other animals. And why should always it be the lion or the king or whatever? And yeah, rabbit definitely deserves a chance to be the king of the jungle. Back to you, Table Topic Master.
Thank you, Toastmaster Nanana, for that lovely response. Now I'd like to call the next speaker, and I'd like to call Toastmaster Minditium AK Prabhakara, and this is your animal.
Mr. Table Topic Master, fellow Toastmasters, and welcome guests. The beauty, the horse. This is one tool that has helped many a jungle being brought under control. We had Toastmaster Ravi Kumar telling that every animal has its own place and it can be in an orderly way instead of a jungle law. But how do you establish that? They use, first of all, the tool called horse. People sit on horse's back, use simple stones to start with in the earlier days in Stone Age to bring order in the society. And then they invented bow and arrow. And at that time, I was the one who was helping the human being to survive when they went for hunting. It is me who was one of the biggest tools in fighting the enemy, establishing the dharmic way of life. Even if you take Mahabharata war, the chariots were powered by me. Today, it is the car or even a tank. It is defined in terms of my power, horsepower. Horse is the jungle king, and it takes position in a natural and most automatic way because it provided the power required to establish the order which
was never in existence. It is a continuous process. It's a process that is always in work. And whenever there is a work, there is horsepower, and horsepower comes from my horsepower, considering that if I were to be horsepower person. So beauty, when it comes to speed and it comes to control and it comes to stability, it is me, that is the horse, that is the most deserving animal to be the king of the jungle. Over to table topic master.
Thank you, DTM AK Prabhakara, for that lovely response. Now I'd like to call the next speaker, that is Toastmaster Sandeep, and this is your animal.
Good evening, and table topic master, dear members and guests. Is that I have to tell about why this zebra should be the king, or I
Yeah,
can tell anything about zebra?
you just have to justify why it should be the next king of the jungle.
What I remember one incidence when I was in school, somewhere in 9th or 10th class. I used to sit in the first row. That was supposed to be the prestige, or what you sort of, if you are the class topper, you have to sit in the front, and that's a honor, I think. So once the teacher told me to sit back, I was very offended, and I took it on my personal ego, and what you say, retaliated. I asked him that I am the class topper and I should sit in the first row. Then he told, if everyone wants to become the engine, who will carry the goods? There should be someone who should be the bogie and who should carry the goods in it. So looking at this picture, what I understand, zebra, of course, traditionally, or I have never seen any zebra to be the king of the jungle. So the king of the jungle is always the lion. So let it be. And zebra has its role to play. And every other animal also, like hippo or the giraffe, the chimpanzee, everyone has their role. So what I would go with the traditional, the conventional story where the lion is the king and let other animals play their roles and maintain the balance of the jungle or the ecosystem, that I would say. That because all the animals, they do have their own characters, they have their own style of living, they have their own mechanism of defending themselves. So I would go with the conventional story, where lion is the king and zebra is a honest citizen, tax-paying citizen of the jungle. Back to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sandeep. That was fantastic. Now going to the next speaker, I'd like to call Toastmaster Sai Snail, and this is your animal.
Table topic master, fellow Toastmasters, and welcome guests. The king of the jungle is the one who doesn't have a lot of work. He's the one who sleeps all the time, just like the animal that is just being portrayed. A panda sleeps for about 18 hours a day. That is enough to show that it can be the king of the jungle, because the rest of the work can be done by the other animals who he just showed above. Because you have soldiers, you have all the other role takers. Okay, it's not role taker. All the other animals doing the duties, but a person sleeps only when he doesn't have much work to do. And when can he sleep? Only when he's the king of the jungle. So the panda, as you all are aware, it is one of the very cutest and the friendliest animal. There's a place in China, a zoo, where they import pandas from Russia just because they were cute. And this is what helped the Chinese zoos to get in a lot of visitors to the zoo. What does this portray? It portrays that panda is the king of the jungle. Thank you, and back to the tabletop.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sai Snail. That was a fantastic take. I'm sure I wouldn't have done that a wonderful job if I was given that animal. So kudos to that. Going to the next speaker, I would like to call Toastmaster Zuleika, and this is your animal. Toastmaster Zuleika.
I think you can go on with the next speaker.
Okay. I like to call Toastmaster Karthik.
Good evening, everyone. The animal that I've got is a one-horned rhinoceros. I feel that king of a jungle should be one who sets an example. So the rhinoceros is definitely an animal that sets an example because of its power, its might, its strength, and something unique about it is its horn. No other animal, unlike it, has a horn, and also it's an exotic animal. So, due to unfortunate reasons such as poaching and hunters valuing the horn so much, they have started becoming endangered animals, and slowly they will become extinct also. So, I feel that the rhinoceros should become the king of the jungle because it should live in style. It should set an example that be like me, and no one else can replicate me, and I would finish it like I would leave it in style. No one else can copy me. So I feel that the rhinoceros should become the king of the jungle. Back to you, a table topic master.
Thank you, Toastmaster Karthik. That was a fantastic response. And now I would like to call the timer for today, Toastmaster Sashikant, and this is your animal. It's a fox, it's not a dog.
Good evening, table topic masters. Good evening, Toastmaster, and welcome guest. The king is the one who rules, not actually works with the team. Actually, the king should rule, and the king should know all the rules and regulations and all the laws, and how to punish if the people, if the any other animal do the mistake, and how to treat them if they don't have any food or something. I think fox should be the king of the jungle because it know all the rules and regulations, and it know I think it know law very well because it is a very active and very what we call very active animal, uh, and it is also average looking, not a good one, because king should be a average looking fox, not a good looking like something rabbit or something, and it should not should be very worst looking, because someone will not come to the king and they can't express their feeling if it is rhinoceros or hippopotamus something. They will afraid to come in front of the king. So I think that perfect king should be the fox, so that it will give the correct justice to the people, because it is not so much taller in the height, so that other animals could see it face to face and talk without any hesitation. If it is a giraffe, then the people should look up and they should talk. At that time, the communication gap will happen. And if it is a hippopotamus or something, they should be bit far because it's a very huge animal. And if it is a horse, means if they come to talk something, and it will run away. So fox will not run away from the. So I think the fox is very unique character to be the king, and it is a very kind living thing, and it is very good hunter. So if some animals come with a hunger, then it can feed that animal by hunting something, because we all know that it will steal the food from many big animals like tigers or lions. So with this conclusion, I am very sure that fox will be the very good king for the jungle. And back to you, table topic master.
Thank you, Toastmaster Shashi. That was a funny and a wonderful response. Now, I like to give this topic. It is open to any of the guests. So, your animal is a crocodile. So, does any of the guests want to take this topic? If no one is willing to take up, I think this is the end for the today's table topic session. I
Can I
hope
do it? I'll do
Somebody
it.
was looking for it.
I don't
uh,
mind doing it.
okay. You've already spoken once, so is
Okay,
that
okay, no problem.
Gaurav, you can give it to Subramaniam, sir.
okay, sir? You can go for it. Sir. Yeah.
Thank you for this very interesting topic, table topics master Gaurav. Before justifying why crocodile or alligator should be a king, I would go by a thumb rule that wherever a ruler has to rule the entire kingdom, I think he has to be the most strongest one, or at least he should be a person with a lot of strength. So going by the environment in which this crocodile resides or stays, I would maybe limit it to rule over a very limited part of the jungle, that is wherever we have fresh water, since nobody can defeat the crocodile whenever it's inside the water, submerged, and nobody can overrun this crocodile. So definitely I would consider this as a ruler or a king of its limited region of its limited influence, that is a freshwater river. And why this particular animal is a ruler? Because first thing is, it is it can't be defeated by any animal when it is in water, whereas if the crocodile is on land, even a small dog with a limited strength can definitely defeat in a very small fight. So I would say I would go by the definition of king being the strongest person in its entire kingdom, just like a lion is the strongest and boldest animal. I would go with crocodile as the ruler in its limited sphere of influence, by being the strongest animal in its sphere of influence, that is the river. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster DTM Subramaniam. So thank you everyone who will participate in today's table topic session. I hope everyone had fun, and I also enjoyed, like I know I couldn't have done such a wonderful job as everyone did, having the animal which you guys are not so much familiar about. So thank you everyone who participated, and back to the master of ceremony, Toastmaster Prakash.
Thank you, Toastmaster Gaurav. That was a really sensational session, and I felt that today was National Wildlife Day. And I was able to recall my memories about watching Lion King movie and its popular song, Hakuna Matata. It means no worries, be happy. Even our President Udanka has updated his status on the same. So we'll now have a compassionate break for 5 minutes. So now it is 7:47 p.m. We will come back at 7:52 p.m. We have come to the final session of the day, the evaluation session. So our general evaluator for the day is a BTech in Civil Engineering from NITK Surathkal, co-founder of Vishal Infrastructure Limited, an airport construction company. He is presently Global President of NITK Alumni Association. He is also a Charter President of NITK Beehive Toastmasters Club. His hobbies are marathon, running, trekking, and swimming in the sea. He is the past president of Rotary Bangalore Junction and served more than 25 years as a Rotary member. During his tenure, he was compassionate for the safety of the school children who were studying in an adopted school, which was in a pathetic condition. He organized and helped to construct RCC building consisting of 9 classrooms for the school children. Please, all of you help me in welcoming Toastmaster Krishnamurthy with a huge round of applause.
Thank you, Toastmaster Prakash. That was a wonderful introduction of mine. Thank you so much. As a general evaluator, I will be evaluating the entire proceedings of the meeting with the help of the tag team and the individual evaluators. This will help us, understand each other and grow further in this journey of Toastmasters. I'll start with the Sergeant at Arms. The meeting started 6:19, about 4 minutes late, which is generally 2 to 3, 4 minutes is absolutely fine. But what happened? The roll takers were not there. Then President had to wait. He had to start introducing the guests, and this is not generally done for a club of Mekong standard. Okay, any new clubs have seen this happening in NITK Beehive. So it's acceptable because they are yet to learn, understand all those things. But definitely we should have to plan. What I have a suggestion here is we'll start the meeting at 6 o'clock instead of 6:15. Even our timing should be printed as 6 p.m. rather than 6:15. And that 15 minutes, 6 to 6:15, can be used as a networking break or whatever it is, testing audio, video, chit-chatting, so that all people can come by 6:15. Once 6:15, anybody is there or not there, meeting has to kickstart. If SAA is not there, somebody else will do. In fact, that was very well organized today, but somehow again, it was again interpreted, and that should not be done. Okay, it does not matter. It can happen. Technical problem can happen to anybody. He is not there, not there. And particularly some of our office bearers, ex-com people, should be ready to take the dual role. But exactly maybe 1 or 2 minutes before, they should take it. Once they take it, nobody should, even if the original fellow comes, let him wait. That does not matter. That's the way meetings should grow. The flow of meetings should not be interrupted. This is what my suggestion is. And Toastmaster Ujjwal, he spoke very well on the theme. What my suggestion here is, instead of giving high funda about the compassion and all that, whatever, 3-4 lines, does not matter. You don't have to give a big speech because you have only 2 minutes time, or 2 or maximum 3 minutes. And that too, in that 1 minute, you have to introduce the president as well. So I would suggest 2-3 simple lines, whatever you can do. Look at the camera and please deliver that, rather than going, to reading out the thing. Because then very purpose will be defeated. The energy will be lost. You cannot deliver. How, for example, Toastmaster Balaji, starts his speech or whatever he does. A lot of energy. He won't look here and there. So that is the way the certain SAA has to play that role, and then automatically energy will come. So, and even the president also, 2-3 lines introduction is good enough. There is no need to give 5-6 items of introduction. Whatever he can remember, absolutely fine. Let him explain it and introduce it. Otherwise, Toastmaster Ujjwal, you have done an excellent job. There is nothing to take away from whatever you have done. What I only suggest, how you deliver speech. So this SAA role for 2 minutes should be much more practiced than your regular speech. So every word you should know, you should deliver it then and there. That is the way to kickstart and enthuse all the people and bring in energy to this club. So, but otherwise, it doesn't take away. He definitely deserves a round of applause for his sincerity. Let us all give him a round of applause. Now coming to President Udanka, he opened the meeting. He introduced the guest because there was some time available. So in fact, he readily asked his VPE to take over when there was a delay in Sergeant Tom's reporting. So that was very nice. I think it was a good idea. That's the way President should act. There should not be any wastage of time. because this is the fourth oldest club in India. It's not even in Bangalore. So that being the qualification of our club, people should learn from us. Okay, 1 or 2 minutes, 3 minutes is absolutely fine, but definitely going on and lengthening this. Even last couple of meetings I have been seeing, it's always 15-20 minutes delay will be there. At least 10 minutes is definitely there. So which can be avoided if you plan well. So I think Budanka, you have already geared up for that. That's a good thing. And he, today, instead of talking on the theme, he thought he should make all our members also understand what the TLI, the training session of Toastmaster, what exactly the ExCom people have been taught. So each officers, one by one, they explained their role. So then we also understand as members whose role is what, so that we can what do you call? We can go to them with a concerned problem. If you have speech means VPE, we have to go. If there are any other organization thing, we can go to president. If there is any payment, we can go to the treasurer. So we understood the role very nicely, and in fact, each ExCom member explained it very nicely. So that was a very good initiative instead of talking about the theme. So that was very nice, Udanka. And so with I think he deserves a round of applause from all of us for that excellent job and making us understand all the TLI Toastmaster International learning sessions, what they made all of us understand. Now we'll move on to the evaluation of the speeches. The first speech was by Toastmaster Balaji. I request individual evaluator DTM Subramania to give his evaluation, please.
Thank you, Toastmaster Krishnamurthy. Good evening, my fellow Toastmasters, and in particular, my target speaker, Toastmaster Balaji. Toastmaster Balaji, when I heard about your speech title, I was really intrigued and very curious to know what was what were your message about this particular interesting topic. And I have to say this, that talking about British and Indians, it's one of the most lucrative subjects for getting for doing a research and presenting the facts in front of us. So to start with, the primary purpose and the secondary, the general and specific purpose of your speech was quite well evident from the time you started with your speech. It was a nice way of starting the speech by sharing that anecdote about preparing soup for your father, and that set the context for the message you wanted to convey. The specific purpose was that British did not really conquer us. It was our own doing of having no unity amongst us, and in fact, Britishers took advantage of that by their own strategy of divide and rule, which helped them to conquer overall. In fact, it was a very smart way of doing. That's what you brought in your story. You had done a good. What I really liked about your speech was that first thing is you stood up in front of the laptop and you had a good camera angle. Second thing is you had good voice, and throughout the speech you maintained that very loud voice, which was quite clear to hear, and all of us we did not have any difficulty in understanding what you had to convey. You had done very good preparation, and I think you put it in a form of a very interesting story from where it all started with the Carnatic, and it all you had connected all the kingdoms of the conquests of Britishers by connecting it in a transition, like first it started with Carnatic and then Nizams and then Marathas and then Mysore. This brought in a lot of connection to what exactly you had to convey. And in the end, you summarize exactly what exactly was Indians' contribution to our own downfall rather than Britishers' victory over us. If I had to point out some of the improvement points with your permission, I felt that while you were quite comfortable in using both of your hands, I felt that somewhere you had clasping your hands. That brought in a bit of disconnect. And during the end, while you had a lot of things to say, what was your lesson from all those things and the conclusion which you ended the story with? It was a bit of discontinuous and it was anticlimactic to the entire speech you had given. Overall, a very good speech, and you have connected you have ticked all the boxes. All the best for your next speech.
Thank you, DTM Subramaniam. That was an excellent evaluation. He has done a good research, I would say, because this particular project L1P3 calls for that. So he has really gone in depth how each ruler, how he was conquered and all that. He has made a research. It was very nice. And our evaluator rightly highlighted the strengths of the speaker. And you have also recommended. That was very nice. Only one point I would request, the speaker is not to move on too much in the speaking arena. Because I don't know, maybe you are very energetic. I agree. Everybody knows that you're a very good speaker. There is no two words about that. But if you can control a little more of your energy and movement, I think that is an excellent thing. You are a class speaker. You will definitely reach to the next level. And why all that? You can even represent our district as well. So it's a question of time. So I want you to, be firm in one place and probably use your gestures. I'm not stopping that, but not to move around too much and bring down a little bit of energy and your speed. I think that is the only suggestion I would give. It's in fact a gift for you to have that kind of energy. Not everybody will have that kind of energy for 5 to 7 minutes. You have that, and I'm sure you will bring many laurels to Mika. So with this, I'll move on to the next speaker. I think both the evaluator and the speaker deserve a round of applause from all of us. Thank you. So we'll move on to the next speaker. The project is L2P3 and it's being evaluated by DTM MU Bhatt. But sir, over to you.
Mr. General Evaluator, fellow Toastmasters, welcome guests, and Toastmaster Sridevi in particular. Brains for the pig and ears to listen. When I heard the title of that, I knew Sridevi is going to do an amazing job and she did not disappoint. You know what? I felt she is the right person to speak on this topic. It's virtually an education session, I should say, because she has been both a mentor and a mentee. She has been mentored by one of the veterans of the Toastmasters Club, Dr. Vijayshri, and she has mentored a person now who is going to probably the first distinguished Toastmaster under Pathways program, Udanka. So now, let me, Sridevi, let me evaluate a speech where exactly you excelled and what you couldn't challenge yourself. The first thing is your biggest strength today was what I like really was your organization of the speech. A very, very powerful opening of defining what is mentoring by John, and a powerful conclusion about Winston Churchill, how you make a living by what you get, but you make a life by what you give. You know, that is also some sort of mentoring that is all about giving to the other person. Wonderful. And in between, what I really liked was the way you organize your body, which also it showed about the different aspects of mentoring by what you learned from the four mentors of yours, Dr. Vijayshri, DTM A.K. Prabhakara, DTM MU Bhatt, and Toastmaster Pratibha. Each person you learned, you brought about what lessons you learned. For example, with the Pratibha, you learned about how proper preparation prevents poor performance, and how you learned about to rehearse the importance of rehearsal. You learned from Vijayashree about how it is more important to express yourself than impress others in speech making. That is more important. You learned how you break out of the comfort zone and get inspired and use creativity in your speeches by distinguished Toastmaster A.K. Prabhakara. How you learned about the empathy and looking from other person's perspective in speech making by distinguished Toastmaster M.U. Bhatt. So the point I'm trying to make is you intertwined the different aspects of mentoring and how it helps in and how the mentoring works in Toastmasters by your own experience with the 4 of your mentors, which was amazingly done, a wonderful organization. I would not like to comment about your different aspects of speech making, like your presence in front of the camera, your body language, your voice modulation, your gestures, because you have been always excelling in that. And today was no different. Excellent job. But one point I would like to definitely point out specifically, sometimes you are prone to using too many ahs and ums. Today, there was not a single ah or in your entire speech. That shows how much proper preparation you've done. You are lived up to what Pratibha taught you about preparation, practice, and performance. An amazing speech, one of the finest speeches of yours from your own standards, which I've heard. And as far as challenging is concerned, to tell you frankly, you should have been a distinguished Toastmaster in the last traditional term itself. Because of the strict deadline fixed by the Toastmasters, you somehow narrowly missed it. And now you are taken up pathways. Your challenge is to take up your other projects in the same speed and same alacrity and in the same sense of the perfection what you have achieved in this particular speech, so that you will take up not only the path. You already completed 2 levels with this particular speech. You go complete this path, take a next path, and become distinguished Toastmaster, because just as A.K. Prabhakara will be the proud mentor for our Nagaraj Rao, I'm sure Dr. Vijayashree will be the proud, not only Dr. Vijayashree, all of us, and distinguished Toastmaster A.K. Prabhakara, myself, Pratibha, all will be proud that you will be the distinguished Toastmaster in the nearest future. And excellent, congratulations for the excellent speech. And I don't have any other suggestion to make. Thank you very much. Take up your next speech as early as possible. With that, back to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you, DTM Bhatt sir. I think that was an excellent evaluation. It was a lot of encouraging words were given, and no doubt she's another what I would say an asset of Mekon. She delivered speech. She delivered speech today so nicely. And only one suggestion I have, not to take away anything from her. She could have tried to stand and give the speech. That is the only request. Otherwise, absolutely, it was fine. It was a flawless speech and very nicely delivered and very nicely evaluated. I think both evaluator and the speaker deserves a round of applause from all of us. Thank you very much. With this, we will move on to the next. I'll move on to the role takers. So first, I'll request Timer Shashikant to give his brief report about the timings taken by various speakers. Over to you, Toastmaster Shashikant.
Good evening, all, and thank you, General Evaluator. The business session started at 6:19 p.m. and the first speaker, Balaji, has took around 7 minutes 9 seconds, and the speaker 2, Sridevi, took around 9 minutes to complete her speech. And table topic session is conducted for 30 minutes, and the speaker 1, table topic speaker 1, Sanjana, spoke for 1 minute 15 seconds. Nakul spoke for 1 minute 11 seconds. Ravi Kumar 2 minutes 9 seconds. Lalna Murthy 2 minutes 13 seconds. DTM A.K. Prabhakara 2 minutes 12 seconds. Toastmaster Sandeep 2 minutes 11 seconds. Toastmaster Sai Nehal 1 minute 15 seconds. Toastmaster Karthik 1 minute 6 seconds. And I took around 2 minutes 11 seconds, and DTM Subramanya took around 1 minute 55 seconds. and the general evaluation session started at 7:55 p.m. DTM Subramanya for the evaluation of first speech took around 3 minutes 40 seconds, and DTM Yemi Bhatt took around 4 minutes 30 seconds to evaluate his speech. And back to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you, Timer Toastmaster Shashikant. Only one suggestion I have for you, not for this timing role, you have done excellent job, but this is for reading out the minutes of the meeting. I know you are improved very much, and in fact, it was flawlessly you are reading it. But what I would only suggest is, if you could look after finishing every sentence at the camera, we'll all feel that you are telling us the minutes. That kind of. Otherwise, if you look down and keep reading out the entire meeting, it will be very monotonous for us to spend 2 minutes. So probably this, if you practice, I'm sure you can do it. Every sentence you read and have a look at it as though you're telling us the minute. So that kind of feeling will come. That is the only thing. Otherwise, I think you have done an excellent job. Thank you very much for that. So now I request our counter Toastmaster Karthik to give his report, please.
Good evening, everyone.
Yeah.
Is it audible?
Yes.
Okay. So I was the R counter evaluator for today, and as I mentioned earlier, I've divided my evaluation into two parts. First being filler words. Filler words are those words that that are used instead of conjunctions or taking a pause, such as etc. And also crutch words such as well, so, like, but. So I will not go into the kind of filler words or the crutch words, because it doesn't matter, because it doesn't matter what kind of filler words you're using. It just matters how many filler words you have used or crutch words you have used. And also I'll be talking about number of times you've repeated a phrase. So diving into it, starting with Toastmaster Balaji, 2 filler words, 1 crutch word, and in your speech, you repeated this phrase "we are one" 3 times. Other than that, it was excellent. And Toastmaster Sridevi, 6 filler words and 1 crutch word. And a small mistake I just found. I don't know if it just might be an honest mistake. Instead of hesitating, you said hesitating. I think it was just a small mistake. Other than that, it was also a very good speech. Toastmaster Sanjana, 4 filler words and 1 crutch word. Then Toastmaster Nakul, 2 filler words. Toastmaster Ravi Kumar, 4 filler words and 1 crutch word. Toastmaster Lalana, 2 filler words and 2 crutch words. Then Distinguished Toastmaster A.K. Prabhakara, 2 filler words and 1 crutch word. Toastmaster Sandeep, 6 filler words. Toastmaster Sai Sneha, 1 filler word and 1 crutch word. And Toastmaster Shashi, 4 filler words and 1 crutch word. And Toastmaster Subramanya, 4 filler words. That's all. Back to you, sir.
Thank you, Toastmaster Karthik. What I would request you is from next time, probably it's not only for you, it is for everybody. You have to tell what is that clutch word I am using. If you don't tell that, then I won't be knowing what clutch word I have used. So it is mandatory to tell that what is the clutch word used, and what are those filler also, probably whatever it is, twice, thrice, even if you miss some of the counts, it's absolutely fine. Suppose instead of 5, if you tell me 3 times, I'll be happy, So that is the way it goes. But you have to tell me what is the clutch word of my favorite clutch word, so that I'll try consciously to give up that particular clutch word. So, but otherwise, you have done an excellent job. Thank you very much for that. I request now the grammarian Toastmaster Sandeep. Toastmaster Sandeep, over to you.
Today's word of the day was used by many speakers. Lucrative was used by Sai Snehal in his PP Evaluator introduction. MC Speaker 1, Balaji, we have Evaluator 1, Subramaniam sir also used lucrative in their speeches. There are good usages like the 3 P's, what Sridevi had used: preparation, practice, and performance. One diet, respect the perspective, and there are other words, pompous introduction, entry, alacrity used by the speakers during their speeches. And this is from my end.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sandeep. That was very nice of you. You have given a very crisp your grammarian report. So we'll now move on to the parliamentary procedure, PPE. Toastmaster Sai Snehal.
We had a very fruitful and lucrative meeting today. The meeting room was in order. We had no disturbances at all. No one spoke about sex, religion, or politics. Everyone was muted at the time, and they were speaking only when they're supposed to. One suggestion which I have, even though it did not happen today, is if you're typing a comment in the chat box, at least try to wait till the transition of the speaker, just like the video, so that they're not disturbed by just looking at it. Say, for example, a speaker is speaking and suddenly chat pops up. So the speaker tends to lose concentration and look at the chat. So if you could just hold on to this comment just for a few seconds till the speaker finishes, it would be really great and not disturb anyone. This has not happened, but I would just urge everyone to just follow this. That's all. Thank you, and back to the general evaluator, Toastmaster Krishnamurthy.
Thank you, PPE evaluator. That was very nicely you pointed out the things. I have a couple of points which probably I'll come back to you. This is not about your role as PPE, but this is about VPE. So I'll probably, if there is time, I'll discuss toward the end. I think all the role takers deserve a round of applause to make our meeting very effective. Their role was very important. So please give them a round of applause to all of them. Thank you very much. So now moving on to the table topic master, Gaurav, Toastmaster Gaurav. I'm one of your fan, the way you meticulously work and do and attend the meetings regularly. So that is the way to, move forward in the Toastmaster journey. You have done it, and today is no exception. You took the table topic, you are the table topic master, and you came out with the innovative idea of, bringing all the jungle to us and showing us. Probably many were even not knowing the names. So, that confusion also was gone. So only one suggestion I have, I think you did an excellent job giving 10 table topics to various people. So I would urge you to first tell the topic, you show the animal, whatever it is, and then look out and call for the speaker. See, what happens during that time is everybody will be thinking, you might call me or call somebody. So everybody will be trying to mentally prepare for that particular table topic. So the moment you call Sandeep, Toastmaster Sandeep, then the rest of them will sleep. So it is Sandeep headache, let him think over it. So that's thinking on the feet will go away. So you should keep everybody in a tenterhook by first coming out with a topic, and then probably call the speaker, and then you can once again repeat the topic also. Absolutely, that is the way to do it. Otherwise, nothing takes away. You have done an excellent job by bringing all the jungle to this our Toastmaster Club. Thank you very much for that. I think key to the round of applause. And another thing, what table topic master should do is, suppose there is already a delay. So probably one or two, table topic he can cut down. It's not mandatory that he has to make 10 table topic. If there is already a delay of, let us say, 15, 20 minutes, how do you cover that? So you have to cut down maybe one or two table topic. For example, you even give a topic to one another speaker who has already spoken or something like that, or some role taker in the meeting. So probably you can avoid. There is nothing wrong in that, because ultimately we have to end up the meeting on time. That is responsibility of everybody. It is not the responsibility of MC alone, or it is not the responsibility of president or sergeant at arms. Everybody should try to reduce that time, looking at the time where we are and where we are moving, and accordingly go ahead. So otherwise, you have done an excellent job, Gaurav, Toastmaster Gaurav. Thank you very much. I think it is a round of applause. Now moving on to the MC, Toastmaster Prakash. You have connected the theme and was very brief and clear. This story of Kumar and Santosh was very nice. And, that's the way a team will always be remembered. And you really connected very well, when Santosh had planned to commit suicide, and now his friend, is speaking to him with whatever compassion, he changed himself, So that was a very nice thing. These kind of examples will actually always remain for a long time. You have done your homework and you have introduced every speaker very well, and you have, that was very nice of you. And you have done a transition of the theme to history of Toastmasters very well. And you have also done the transition between the speakers very well. So that was very nice. And even the statistics of Toastmasters you gave very nicely. And not only that, you even mentioned how many men and women are there. What is the percentage? What is the percentage of Asia, America, and all that? That was very nice. That induced a lot of interest in Toastmasters, particularly for the guests. At least they understand what Toastmasters is and where all its presence is there. It was very nice. And then you also explained the meeting structure very well. That was very nice of you. You did an excellent job. And I think you have done an excellent job, I would say. So only thing you also should think on the time. For example, you gave a break of 5 minutes when you knowing well that there is already lagging behind. So probably 3 minutes you would have served the purpose. So nobody will mind, why it has been given 3 minutes. So these are all ways and means of trying to, make the meeting happen on time. It should start, and probably maybe 5 minutes here and there if you wind up. So we'll have a very good name and image for our Mekon. So coming to, I think let us all give me a round of applause to Toastmaster Prakash for doing excellent emceeing. Coming to VPE and President, both of them that I have already initially suggested, you see if you can make that 6 o'clock to 6:15 as a networking time. This is what I wanted to, I already explained to you. That would bring in all the role takers, and particularly office bearers can come there. You can chit chat, explain, even some of the business session can be finished within that 6 o'clock itself. So then 6 o'clock sharp, the meeting should start, and 6:15, I would say, and then probably end up whatever time, whatever time allotted in the agenda was absolutely fine, but only keeping up is a bigger challenge. I think all of us work towards it. It should be possible. So it is not going to be such a big, difficult thing. So with this thing, see, we are already 8:27 or something. So we have already gone more. So I will not take more time on this. Let us work, all of us together, and to take Mekon to a greater height. So it's everybody's cooperation is required. So we'll all learn from each other. It is not that I have learned more and you people have learned less. Let us all learn from each other and take this club to the next level. Back to you, Toastmaster Prakash.
Thank you, General Evaluator Toastmaster Krishnamurthy, for such a wonderful and insightful evaluations. Finally, I would like to end up reminding a quote from Mother Teresa. We cannot do great things on this earth, but we can only do small things with great love. Now, I would like to hand back the charge to the President.
Thank you, Toastmaster Prakash, for conducting a flawless meeting, and thank you, Krishnamurthy sir, for giving us so many insights on mainly the timings. Definitely, me along with my team will think about it and will work on it to manage the time. So now, yes, sir. Yes, sir. AKP.
I would like to make a point here. It is overriding what General Evaluator told today. Our goal in our club And traditionally, with lot of difficulty, it has been established that no member who attends the meeting goes home without speaking. So just because we have started on a wrong note as far as timing is concerned, he should not go back without speaking. So table topic, just because some members come on time, they are repeatedly given the role of some assignment like grammarian, timer and all that. And that doesn't mean that sometimes he should not miss on table topic just because he has come on time. It should not be a punishment. So everybody who comes here should be given time to speak. That 2 minutes is critical for his learning process, and that learning ladder is very, very important. We should not overrule. Better we be on time and conduct on time so that everybody is accommodated. And that should not be removed out of as if it's something, time is more important than speaking. The very purpose we have joined is how to learn speaking, and that should be given primary importance. That's I want to make it very clear from my point.
Sure, sir. I will take both the points into consideration and will definitely work on that. So
you should not work, you should not remove. That is the point.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We'll stick on to the agenda.
Sure, that is the goal.
Yes,
you are not. See, you should remember, the committee is given the power to do the operational point of view only. Your operational point of view. There is no strategic point of view is not given to you. Strategic point of view is there with the board of director of Toastmasters International. We follow a certain rigid framework in the process of learning the art of communication.
Sure, sir. We'll definitely stick on to the agenda. And as A.K. Prabhakar sir mentioned in the business session, we need to give feedback to the speakers. So as we had one circulated in the WhatsApp group saying what's the procedure to do it, and we will make sure it is recirculated very shortly within this week in the WhatsApp group again. And coming back to the winners of the meeting, best table topic speaker goes to the man who spoke about the horsepower, and he has one of the horsepowers towards the Toastmaster, DTM A.K. Prabhakara. The best speakers goes to my mentor, Toastmaster Sri Devi. And the best evaluator goes to the person who evaluated my mentor, DTM MU Bhatt. I congratulate all the winners of the week, and I request all the members to stay back for the group feature, and I close meeting number 1093. Can we all have your videos on?
I would request Rashmi and Ravi Kumar, please switch on your video. Rashmi, please. Yeah, thank you all.
Sandeep is the only one with the original background.
Yeah. Yes.
Actually, this very much forces us, all of us, to go back to in-person meeting the sooner.
Yes, Sandeep. When can we expect the in-person meeting?
Below that video, they say that only the blocks so these are rotated. They nowhere say that.
Waiting for your answer.
After getting the vaccine.
Actually, currently, I don't know. I have to speak to the office in charge when he comes.
I seen that link.
And the office in charge who was acquainted with the Toastmasters tradition, dad from